It is 8:41. Newstalk Sauga 960 Raw. Mike Richards, David Bastl, and it looks like this morning we were talking to Captain David Park. It looks like you're a pilot in the cockpit there. Thanks for flying, Air Park. We're cruising at 35,000 feet. Nice to have
Air
you.
Tigers.
Air Tigers. There you go. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing this morning?
Well, it's such a huge conversation when you start talking about inoculations. You talk about, vaccine, which is a whole weird argument that I never saw coming, to be honest. I thought that would be a point of consternation for some people to be vaccinated, but apparently that's a thing. And then I think my wife gets her flu shot tonight. And once you start talking about cold and flu, it's still around. That's still something that happens. There are variations of it, and that seems to be the word variant also a little disturbing for us these days. So when it just comes to cold and flu, we still have to look after ourselves there, because obviously these things still exist as well.
Yeah. Especially during now when the sun goes down and we have very little opportunities to feel that sunlight on us. And I think that's huge, because in the springtime and the summertime, we're all feeling great. And, we want to experience a nice weather, and then the sun's hitting us, the rays are hitting us. We're getting that quality vitamin D. Nowadays, it's hard pressed to get 30 minutes of sunlight on our skin. And, we feel down, and, there's something called seasonal affective disorder that really hits us hard. And everyone's a little bit down in their mood, and a little bit more stressed, and lack of time, lack of sleep, and it's really hitting us. So I think especially during the winter months, cold and flu issues are definitely prevalent. And it's a good thing that Bell Lifestyles has got a really good product called Cold and Flu Relief, and it's amazing. It's great. It's got a formula of a few different ingredients that when we use it, our immune system starts leveling up. It supports us. It's great.
Let's talk about that for a second, because we always have the question of when should I start taking something like this? Is it the kind of thing, the cold and flu formula, you take when you have it, or is it something like as a maintenance? Is it okay? I don't have a cold right now. I may sound like it from time to time, but should I start taking it now just in case it creeps up later on in the month? How does that work, David, for all our listeners that are kind of curious about
that? The cold and flu relief, I feel it's a product that we don't have to take it if we have a cold. If we don't have to take it if we have a flu. But the ingredients in there, like, we're probably very familiar with a lot of them, like pepper, or capsicum, oregano. Some of us might not be familiar with propolis, but it's what covers the beehive, and it keeps that beehive very, very sterile, the most sterile environment in the world. And some of us, we go day to day with not bringing in these natural herbs, these natural medicines. So if there's been a few days, weeks, or months that you haven't brought in beneficial herbs, beneficial formulas that support our immune system, why not bring it in? Because you know what, for example, I just hurt my little finger, my palm here, from my headset. I kind of cut myself. That's a stress. I'm lowering my immune system just because of that little stress. So there's always opportunities for us to get a little bit kind of like they hit us along the way. And so our immune system drops, whether we don't get enough rest or relaxation, or there's an issue that happens throughout the day. Why not fortify ourselves with these unique properties of what we get in the cold and flu relief, right? We need
that is quite an example you use there of stress hurting your hand on a headphone. I did not see I did not see that example coming this morning.
I hope my stresses are like that.
Wow.
It's not good.
Wow.
I need a Band-Aid, but I don't have a Band-Aid right now.
Very upsetting. And you also know about beehives. When the hell did that happen? I wasn't. You know about the beehives now? What's going on over there?
Well, it's the propolis. Propolis is like a bee glue, and bees make it with their saliva, with their pollen, with their honey, and it's something that they make They've been doing this since antiquity, and they, anytime like a rodent goes inside the beehive, or like a little mouse, or anything that goes inside, they'll cover it with propolis, and it keeps it from disturbing the colony, right? Business
Incredible.
as usual. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then by using these things, it's great.
Now, the thing about flu and colds and so on, and people really aren't sure like how it's caused. Like people, I mean, we refer to it as a cold. We just assume that someone went outside or they got cold. How are people catching a cold or a flu? What is happening to our bodies when that happens?
Well, I'm not like a doctor here, but like typically our immune systems run down. You know, we're more susceptible to the viruses, the bacterium, right? And if they're around us and our immune systems are down, whether it's lack of sleep, lack of nutrition, then it's going to hit us. And then that's where we feel that little tickle in the throat, the muscle soreness, the spaciness. So that's where we want to fortify. Again, we want to utilize these nutrients that Bell Lifestyles has made. And a good thing is that they don't just make one thing, they make a whole slew of supplements that support us. But yeah, you're right. Sometimes we have that, you know, we don't know if it's whether it's a flu or a cold, but a lot of the times it's that muscle achy feeling. As soon as your muscles start aching, then most likely a flu is coming.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm getting a quick text here on this. The difference, so we have cold and flu formula versus Supreme Immune Booster. Do the two work together, or how would you answer that type of question? Both fantastic Bell products. I've taken them both as well, but I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on the two together.
The Supreme Immune Booster, I've actually used that in my coffee. I've actually, because it's a mushroom extract,
Yeah.
I've actually opened it up and added it to my coffee. Usually when I have a drink like coffee or like tea, I like to fortify that, because you know a lot of people say, oh, tea's got caffeine, coffee's got caffeine, it strips away nutrients. Well, why not put nutrients back in? So that's what I like to do. Mushrooms in that Supreme Immune Booster, there's certain mushrooms that help modulate us, where some of us, like we might have an overactive immune system, like lupus, for example, where our immune system is kind of like an overdrive, right? Or eczema is another example, where we need things that kind of bring our immune system down, to level it down. And other times our immune system is too low, and that's where we need those immunomodulating mushrooms to help bring it up. So mushrooms are great in that they help modulate our immune system, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah, and yet you can use Supreme Immune Booster along with the cold and flu relief formula for sure.
Now, I think there's also, they would just have echinacea. I know it'd be in other products included in that. I think cold and flu also has that. But what is the property of echinacea that makes it so popular?
There's certain actives in echinacea that are found to fight the cold virus. And even, I don't know if you guys seen, but echinacea grows pretty good here in Canada. And when you see it, it's like, you want to stay away from it just because the look of the actual plant, it's like you see it and then it's got spiky thorns.
Mm.
And you could look at it and say like, oh, even an animal that walks by would probably steer clear away from it just because of its properties. It's physical properties. It's so it looks pretty because it's pink and purplish and green, but again, when you look at it, you don't want to brush yourself against it. And it's funny that it's almost like cures like people in the past, they've seen this echinacea, they're like, hey, this looks really like its defense mechanisms are great.
Mm.
How about we consume it, right? And so this is what we've been doing for a long time. Like, we're utilizing the power of nature, and why not, especially during now, you know, like our first options are like, turn on the radio, let's listen to what it says. Okay, let's get vaccinated, let's get boosters. But what about looking at nature around us and utilizing some of the properties that we've got around us? That'll be, I think that's the best thing that we can do for us.
Now
That's
we always when we talk about body functioning and body almost maintenance completely, we always bring up zinc. Why is zinc one of those essentials, and is it something that you do daily as well?
I do. I was just actually talking to my wife this morning about zinc. I'm taking like in my pantry, I don't have the zinc right now. So I'm digging into my kids' teen multivitamin. I'm taking that. There's like a teen multi, which is pretty good too.
Yeah,
That we got. But it has a little bit of zinc, and zinc, we don't need that much of it,
right.
whether we get it from pumpkin seeds or we get it through a supplement. But zinc is so important. It helps us with healing wounds, helps our skin. It's a very good antioxidant. It couples well with vitamin C, vitamin E. And it's one of those things that support our immune system. And because we need it in very little amounts, why not take it in a small supplement, like a daily 1-a-day supplement? And Bell Lifestyles makes a great capsule of zinc, which I'm going to start using starting next week, and I'm really looking forward to that. Men can really benefit from it as well. Soon as any guys out there listening, use zinc. You start feeling powerful. Not that much. It's not like the more you use, the better it is. Just use 15. Yeah, just use 15 milligrams. That's all you need, and that's how much we get in the Bell Lifestyle zinc. And yeah, a daily supplement of that is great. Like, we feel powerful.
Do you
And then,
combine it with the copper just to get the
yeah,
balance?
exactly. It's a good thing that
Boom.
you brought that up, because when you take zinc, your copper level goes down, and vice versa. So you could take a little bit of copper with that as well.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you're taking your daily multi, you get a little bit of copper every day. So it's not going to be like, you're not going to hurt yourself by taking, crazy amounts of zinc. And then the whole idea is that you want to take zinc and copper in a small balance. So like usually copper is like 2 milligrams and zinc would be around 15 to 30 milligrams daily.
Yeah.
This is a good ratio.
So what you're saying is occasionally we should eat a penny, is what I'm getting from this guy. Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Put
Okay.
a roll of pennies in your mouth, switch it around, spit it out.
Talk about eating zinc and copper. Who thought of this stuff? Babies? I don't know. Put it in your mouth, and all of a sudden, I mean, it is remarkable the thought that goes into the products, and most of that thinking is almost ancient in terms of our understanding of what helps repair the body. It's like, wow, look at this new thing that they're doing. Well, it kind of is a really old thing that they're doing, and that's what is remarkable. Now, that zinc product, by the way, that you were talking about, it also comes in that new label that they have. Most of the Bell stuff comes, with the green and the green label on it. This is one of those that it's sort of it's a zinc color. It's a sort of a gray color, kind of cool. The other ones, by the way, number 52, that's your Supreme Immune Booster. And at this time of year, I know it's a big product for them. And then, of course, I'll probably put the commercial we did for it, the cold and flu immune support, number 25. That's what we've talked about this morning with our good friend from Dave Park. And he is open for business as well. So if you want to go see Dave, well, then you can head out to Square One Mississauga Nutrition House and ask him, cool things like, where'd you get your coat? Coat looks nice. It's a good coat.
That's my baseball team. Yeah, from a couple of years ago.
Really? You're now, are you a baseball man? Are you a baseball player? Is this a sport that you like?
Oh yeah, I love it. Baseball has been my pride. It's the things that I dream about. When I daydream, this is what I think about: catching those ground balls, throwing those guys out. What
are you, a second baseman, a shortstop, a third baseman? What are you?
I was pitcher third, and then I transitioned to first, second afterwards. Yeah.
There you go.
See, a man of many talents, and he joins us here. Yeah, absolutely. It's always great to. Hey, David, thanks so much for joining us here this morning. And if we don't see you before the holidays, just want to thank you for the outstanding work that you do on the show. We always look forward to when you're on. You do a great job, obviously, not only on the show, but of course with your business as well. So if people want to see David, get the best information you can, you head out to Square One in Mississauga. It is Nutrition House. And thanks once again, Dave. You do a great job.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for inviting me. Love listening to you guys.